Download this code from codegive.com, link in the description below. Bug bucket object deletion fails when object lock is disabled, a deep dive and workarounds. This tutorial will delve into a common issue encountered when working with AWS S3, or similar object storage services, where object deletion fails even after object lock is supposedly disabled. We'll explore the potential causes, provide illustrative code examples, primarily using Python with Boto3, and offer solutions to circumvent this problem. Understanding the problem *. You might find yourself in a situation where 1. You initially enabled object lock, either in governance or compliance mode, on an S3 bucket or specific objects. 2. You then either disabled object lock at the bucket level, if in governance mode and permissions allow. Tried to delete objects whose retention period has expired. 3. Despite these actions, s3.delete_object calls still result in errors indicating that the objects are protected by object lock and cannot be deleted. This can be extremely frustrating because it seems like the object lock settings aren't being properly reflected or the deletion process isn't correctly accounting for the, supposedly, inactive object lock. Potential causes *. Several factors can contribute to this problem. 1. Retention mode transition delays * disabling object lock or allowing a retention period to expire doesn't guarantee immediate deletability. Object storage systems often have a delay before these changes are fully propagated and recognized by the deletion mechanism. This is inherent in distributed systems and consistency models. 2. AWS CLI/SDK caching and configuration issues * outdated AWS CLI or SDK versions can misinterpret or miscommunicate object lock settings. Incorrect IAM role configurations or policies might also limit your ability to delete objects even if object lock appears disabled. 3. Bucket versioning conflicts * if bucket versioning is enabled and object lock was active on specific object versions, you might be attempting to delete the current version while older versions are still locked. You need to ensure all versions of an object are not under retention before the object can be fully removed. 4. Unexpected/hidden retention periods * sometimes, retention periods are applied without explicit knowledge, perhaps due to default configurations in your organization's AWS environment or via S3 lifecycle policies. You might need to meticulously review all relevant settings. 5. Insufficient IAM permissions * your IAM user or role may not have the necessary permissions to delete objects even when they are not under object lock. For example, you may need S3 delete object version permissions in addition to S3 delete object. 6. Regional inconsistency * AWS services, in rare cases, can experience regional inconsistencies. Changes to object lock settings might take longer to propagate in certain regions. Code examples: Python with Boto3. Let's illustrate common scenarios and how to address them using Python and Boto3. Explanation of the code *. 1. Initialization * the code starts by importing necessary modules, Boto3, time, client error, and configuring the S3 client with your bucket name, object key, and AWS region. 2. Check _object _lock, bucket _name, object _key, * this function is critical. It uses s3.get_object _retention, to explicitly check if an object is still under retention. This is more reliable than simply assuming that disabling object lock has immediately taken effect. The try, except block handles the no such object lock configuration error, which indicates object lock is not enabled on the bucket. 3. Delete _object, bucket _name, object _key, * this is the standard object deletion function. It includes a try, except block to catch potential client error exceptions during deletion. For delete_object_versions, bucket_name, object_key, *, this function handles the scenario where bucket versioning is enabled. It lists all versions of an object using s3.list_object_versions, and then attempts to delete each version individually using s3.delete_object, version ID equals. This is crucial because older, locked versions might prevent the entire object from being deleted. It also handles delete markers, which are special versions that indicate a delete operation. 5. Scenario 1, Checking retention. This section demonstrates the importance of using check_object_lock, before attempting to delete. If the object is still under retention, you should either wait longer or implement appropriate error handling, example notify an administrator. 6. Scenario 2, Bucket versioning. This section addresses the case where bucket versioning is enabled, and object lock was previously used. It calls delete_object_versions, to delete all object versions. 7. Scenario 3, Retry logic. This is the most robust approach. It implements a retry mechanism with a delay. If the s3.delete_object call fails with an operation not permitted error, which is typical for object lock issues, it waits for a specified time, example 10 seconds, and retries. The loop breaks if the deletion succeeds or if a different error occurs. The else block, after the for loop, handles the case where the object could not be deleted after the maximum number of retries. 8. Scenario 4, IAM permissions explains which IAM permissions that might be needed. Troubleshooting and further strategies. 1. Verify object lock configuration. Double check the object lock configuration at both the bucket level and the object level. Use the AWS CLI or AWS Management Console to confirm that object lock is indeed disabled and that no unexpected retention periods are set. 2. Check S3 lifecycle policies. S3 lifecycle policies can also automatically apply retention periods to objects. Review your bucket's lifecycle policies to see if any of them are interfering with deletion. 3. Monitor CloudTrail logs. Enable AWS CloudTrail logging for your S3 bucket. CloudTrail logs will record all API calls made to your bucket, including deletion attempts and object lock related operations. Analyzing these logs can provide valuable insights into why deletion is failing. Look for put object retention, get object retention, and delete object events. 4. Update AWS CLI/SDK. Ensure you are using the latest version of the AWS CLI and Boto 3, or the equivalent SDK for your language. Outdated versions might have bugs related to object lock handling. 5. Region awareness. If you are working across multiple AWS regions, be mindful of potential regional inconsistencies. Test your code in different regions and monitor for propagation delays. 6. IAM policy review. Carefully review your IAM policies to ensure that your IAM user or role has the necessary permissions to delete objects and manage object lock settings. Ensure you have permissions to S3 get object retention to check retention settings. 7. Contact AWS support. If you have exhausted all other troubleshooting steps, consider contacting AWS support. They may be able to provide more specific guidance based on your account and bucket configuration. 8. Use AWS config. AWS config can monitor the configuration of your S3 buckets, including object lock settings. You can use AWS config to track changes to object lock configurations and detect any unexpected or unauthorized changes. 9. Explicitly remove retention, if possible, and permissions allow. If you have the necessary permissions and the retention mode is governance, you can attempt to explicitly remove the retention settings before deleting the object. Important asterisk bypass governance retention equals true is required when deleting retention in governance mode, and your IAM policy must grant the S3 bypass governance retention permission. This does not work with compliance mode. Example IAM policy for object lock and deletion asterisk. This IAM policy grants the necessary permissions for managing object lock and deleting objects. Conclusion asterisk. Object lock is a powerful feature for data governance and compliance, but it can also introduce complexities when deleting objects. By understanding the potential causes of deletion failures, implementing proper error handling and retry logic, and carefully reviewing your object lock configuration and IAM policies, you can effectively troubleshoot and resolve these issues. Remember to always check object retention settings before attempting to delete and to handle bucket versioning correctly. Finally, logging with CloudTrail is invaluable for diagnosing issues. By following these steps, you'll be well equipped to manage object lock and ensure that you can delete objects when needed. Remember to adapt the code examples to your specific use case and thoroughly test your implementation. Good luck.